Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In the last video we had made these pages of the album. Today in this video I'll show you how to make the album base and I'll show you how to attach these pages to the album. So let's get started. We will start by making the hinge of the album. Hinge is the area by which the pages attach to the album base. For that, I have taken a 6-inch strip of a paper. Leaving 1 inch space from one end, I will be marking lines at half inch and 1/4 inch. We need to mark lines for 5 pair of half inches. Now, we need to score each of these lines. The 1/4 inch which we have left in between all the half inches is the gusset area between two pages. It is the extra space that we leave between the two pages in order to put embellishments and photos. Now you need to apply glue to any one of the half inch which has been numbered 1. Now fold it to stick both the ones. Stick it thoroughly. Fold the upper portion of the page backwards. It will create such mounting. Now press this mountain which we have formed against the page. All the folds need to be pressed properly so that the creases are formed well. This is a mountain. I like to call it a mountain. Similarly for other numbers as well. These mountain-like structures which we are forming will help us to attach the pages to the album. And this 1/4 inch which we have left in between will be the space between two pages. Once it is done, press all these mountains both the sides so that the pages open and close nicely. Now from the last mountain that we have created, leave 1 inch of space and then remove the extra sheet. This is our hinge. Cut the corners of the hinge to give it much more finishing. This is the hinge we have created with 5 mountains to attach 5 of our pages. Now let us move on to our album cover. This is a mount board or a chipboard sheet which is easily available at any of the stationery store. We will use this to create our album cover. Since our pages measure 6 by 6 inches, I have taken 2 pieces of mount board of 6.5 by 6.5 inches for the top and bottom of the album. Now we have to measure our hinge from first mountain to the last mountain, which is 1.5 inches. So the width of our hinge will be 2.5 inches, which is 1 inch greater than the measurement. This is how we are going to align for our album cover. Now I am taking one A3 size sheet on which I will be placing these pieces of mount board. I leave some space from the left hand side and from the bottom side. Since this sheet is falling short, I will take out a strip from the top end of the page and I will put it over my right hand side. I'll remove this extra piece. Now I will stick this mount board pieces. I will leave some space on the left hand side and I'll align these mount board pieces using a scale. While pasting these pieces, I will leave 1/8 of an inch gap between these 3 pieces. I will now remove the extra sheet on the top and right hand side. I just need 1/2 inch of space on all the sides of my cover. I will now score along all the edges of my mount board. Also in between the gaps. Now I will cut the corners. It is very similar to how we used to put covers on our books back in school. Now I will paste all the edges properly. I will make crease along the folds. Here our cover is done. Now I will put the hinge on the middle section. You can do it by using glue, but I will be using tacky tapes. I like to place an extra strip of paper on top and bottom of my hinge, just to give it an extra little finishing. Just like this. Now I am applying tacky tape to my hinge. You can use Fevicol to do so. I like to put tacky tape because it makes my job much more easier and the base becomes much more firm. The hinge must be aligned properly. This is the main region of your base. If this is not aligned properly, if this is not stick straight, the pages won't look straight. Creating hinges and applying it properly to the base takes a lot of perfection, and it takes a lot of practice. This is the most difficult part of an album. I'm creating a crease on the joints so that the album folds properly. Doing this on both the sides. This is the most important step. It may take some time to attain perfection, but yes, keep on practicing because practice makes a man perfect. There you go. Now we will stick the pages to our hinge. I am doing so using the tacky tape. You can use glue instead. I am applying tacky tape to front and back of each of the mountain of my hinge. You do not have to apply Fevicol now. You apply Fevicol when you put the pages one by one. Now I will be attaching these pages one by one, starting from the last page first. You need to attach these pages very carefully, aligning them properly to the hinge. This is the time, if you are using glue, that you need to apply the glue. Your page should be properly straight. Do this very patiently, one page at a time. Here I have taken a few strips of paper, 2 of ½ inch and rest of a ¼ inch, to place it in between my page spaces, just to give it a little bit more finishing. You can completely skip this step, I just prefer to do it. Here I have taken 2 pattern paper of 6½ inches by 6½ inches for the insides of my cover page. Now let us do its layout. Here I have taken 2 paper of 5½ inches by 10 inches and scored at ½ inch and 6 inch. Now fold alternatively as shown below. Now stick this onto the insides of the cover. Similarly, do for the back side as well. I have put the pattern paper on both the sides. This is how it looks. Now let us put the pattern paper on our cover. I'll be putting this on front and back and this on my hinge. I will leave ½ inch of space and put the front and back. I have cut these pattern papers to my required size. These 2 pattern papers measure 6½ inches by 6 inches and this measures 3½ inches by 6½ inches. I'll use tacky tape to apply it, but you can use glue too. Here I am applying the tacky tape to the pattern paper which I am going to put on the hinge. Now I'll be putting the pattern paper on top of my album, leaving ½ inch from one end. Now I'll be putting the pattern paper on my hinge. and pushing the pattern paper under the top of my album and pressing it firmly throughout the hinge. After the hinge is done, I am putting the pattern paper on the back of my album. And the cover of our album is done. In the next video, we will be embellishing our album and will be completing the cover. I hope you enjoyed this video and your concept of making the cover of the album got cleared. Please like, share, comment on my video and let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much.